Of billions of dollars worth of cargo has been rerouted away from the Red Sea since Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen started attacking ships last month. A new CNBC calculation putting the value of those rerouted trade now at about $80 billion. Joining us right now to talk about the global impact of the disruptions, Lars Jensen is the founder and CEO of Vespucci Maritime. And he's been in this business for a very, very long time. Good morning to you. Help us understand the true implications, how long you think this goes on for, what this rerouting ultimately looks like, and how we're going to see it or not in terms of the supply chain and costs of everything.
This is likely to go on for weeks, if not a few months. The actions we've seen by the major container lines the last 2 days shows very clearly they have no confidence that this is going to be solved within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So they have already rerouted all their vessels and are taking actions to deal with this longer term. We have also seen them in the last few days announce massive freight rate increases, massive new surcharges. This is likely, the way we see it now, going to lead to probably a doubling of the freight rates. And for the economy, it also means that all importers around the world, especially in Europe, but to some degree also U.S. importers located on the eastern seaboard, need to plan for a relatively semi-permanent situation where the supply chain is going to take 1 to 2 weeks longer than we're used to.
Okay, so just when it seemed like Jay Powell thought he had inflation under control, it sounds like what you're saying is inflation is going to come roaring back. The question is how much?
That I would not be overly concerned about. To put things in context, a freight rate right now that's about $1,500 might go up to, say, $3,000, $4,000, maybe even $5,000. But that should be compared to the $20,000 freight rates we saw when inflation and the supply chain bottlenecks were at their worst. This is a bad situation, but it's not the calamity that we had 2 years ago.
What do you think the total cost is going to be towards dealing with the Houthis, and what kind of security, to the extent that there's already security on these ships, that's going to get stepped up, and what that's going to cost?
The cost of it is going to be extremely difficult to assess in terms of security. The problem is you are dealing with people on land firing missiles and drones at merchant ships. Even when you do get this coalition together that the U.S. is spearheading, you might have more warships in the area, but that's not an ironclad guarantee for a merchant vessel. You might not be hit by a missile. So as long as you see missiles being launched, it is unlikely that you will see the major ships go back to use this routing. So the solution likely needs more than just a naval presence in the region. Something needs to be done to prevent the launching of missiles in the first place.
I have a personnel question, which is to say, I imagine folks who are captaining these ships, working on these ships, never thought that they were getting into business where they were going to have missiles being shot at them. How hard is it actually to keep these ships staffed?
That is more of a gray area. For some of them, clearly you would not want people to go into harm's way, and that's also why some of the major container lines sail around. But when you look at vessel tracking devices that you have all today, you can see where ships are. There is still a steady stream of typically smaller vessels, bulker vessels, tanker vessels that still to this very day are going through. This is an industry where no matter the level of conflict, you tend to always see some smaller shipping lines be willing to run the risk, and they seem to always be able to find staff that are also willing to run that risk. But that goes for a relatively small segment of the market. For the large container shipping lines and their large vessels, the answer is clearly no, they're not willing to run that risk.